Not now, he spluttered. The breath whipped from his lungs, leaving him hollow. It was happening again. He stopped walking, hunched over and covered his quivering mouth. He was starting to sweat profusely, threatening to seep through his only suit. He saw himself looking like one of the clerical workers on the sunrise trains who had crescent moons of damp cupping their flopping breasts. But he would have to worry about his appearance another time. He placed his palm on the damp wall of a shack as two passing boys in greying vests glared at him. He tried to breathe, but could only wheeze out a rattling sound. They were so skinny they were probably worried he'd eat them. He was careful not to lean too hard in case the whole facade caved in. This place seemed nothing more than the sun, dust, and an eternal hum of competing voices. He made sure the boys couldn't see him touch his pocket to check that his wad of rupees was still there, along with the worn paper of his train ticket. As long as he had his cash, he would be all right, he reassured himself. His breathing loosened. Money always bestowed a protective aura. It was so much more efficient than the empty promises of prayer. He decided to start moving again. It couldn't be too much further. There were no pavements around him, just stacks of assorted rubble people hopped over while avoiding the meandering chaos of the rickshaws. It also stank of shit, thanks to the open gutters sloshing along the side of the road. Every time he passed a waiting, solemn cow in the street, he had to avoid dipping his polished brogues into the filth. He didn't belong in a place like this. Maybe his heart was thumping and his lungs were squirming because this was supposed to be his homecoming, a return to the country of his people. But there was no fanfare waiting, only lingering looks. He felt like shouting. Didn't they know it was rude to stare?